I'm no hero, and I don't believe in fate. I never wanted to be a hero. It's too much work.
Many players have commented that Feyd doesn't deal enough damage, that it's hard for him to gain an advantage, and that he lacks survivability. In this article, we'll break down this feedback and help players understand how to better play Feyd. 1. Not enough damage. If you find Feyd lacks damage output, it's most likely because you're spamming range basic attacks and neglecting his skill damage. You've got to use damage output strategies and skill techniques that line up with your equipment build. 2. No advantage. If you're having trouble playing Feyd, you need to switch up your playstyle. To adapt to the rhythm of enemy attacks, you've got to have a good match strategy of your own, and avoid falling into the enemy's traps. 3. Low survivability. Some players choose attack speed or crit master builds, reducing their tankiness and skill combo damage. You've got to understand how heroes counter each other and adjust your equipment to match.
Living up to people's expectations is such a pain. It's much better to throw all of that aside and be free.
Feyd relies on walls to kite and do battle. Use skill 2 to hop up on a wall. Then use basic attacks to deal damage from a safe position. Wait for your chance to clean up. Then use skill 1's dash, enhance basic attacks, and the ultimate to finish the enemy off.
It's just some broken jade. No need to make a fuss.
When Feyd gets hit with enemy crowd control skills, counter by using skill 2 to jump up onto a wall. Using this skill near low points of a wall next to brush allows Feyd to hide himself from enemy vision. Sticking to low points around the same brush allows Feyd to leap from ledge to ledge while completely hidden from the enemy. While Feyd is running on walls along the edge of the map, moving and using skill 1 or his ult toward an area off the wall at around a 45-degree angle will extend the range of his skills, increasing his hit rate. Selecting equipment based on the enemy's lineup makes it easier for Feyd to gain the upper hand. If the enemy has more burst heroes, choose tank or half-tank equipment. If the enemy lineup has more squishy and fewer burst heroes, choose attack speed or crit master equipment.
I warned you. We could have just sat down and talked about it.
Feyd's early game is all about farming. Use his mobility to assist teammates in clearing the minion waves on their lanes. Prioritize helping teammates who already have an advantage to broaden their lead. That way, you avoid wasting valuable time on a lane where the enemy already has the upper hand. During the frequent small-scale teamfights that break out in the mid-game, make use of the brush and blind spots to hide. Once you've used skill 2 to skirt around to either the enemy's backside or flank, take out their carry, or wait until the fight has progressed to swoop in and clean up enemies at low health. Feyd lacks tankiness in the late game, making it easy for him to get ganged up on by the enemy if he enters battle too soon. Wait until your supports crowd control tanky enemies, then help them poke while you wait for an opportunity to jump in and clean up. You can also gank lone heroes to break up stalemates.
Certainly fine jades and stunning sceneries are both great, but I do not wish to own them, only enjoy their beauty.
Use skill 2 to jump up onto a wall and poke the enemy with ranged basic attacks. Then, use the ult to jump off the wall and mark enemies. Follow up with skill 1 and an enhanced basic attack to push the enemy's health into the Grievous range. Finally, use the ultimate second phase to clean up.
I warned you. We could have just sat down and talked about it.
Start off with skill 2 to jump onto a wall. Then use ranged basic attacks to kite and poke the enemy. When the enemy retreats, use skill 2 to jump between walls and follow up with chase attacks. Once the enemy's health is in the Grievous range, use the ultimate to jump off the wall, place marks, and clean up. Finally, use skill 1 to dash and exit the battlefield.
Watching jade fireworks is much more fun when there's a crowd.
When the enemy is near their tower, use skill 2 to jump to a safe spot on a nearby wall. Then use skill 2 again to jump to a wall near the tower. If the enemy is close, use the ultimate to jump off the wall and place a mark. Then 1, basic attack to poke the enemy. Close with the second phase of the ultimate, then use skill 2 to leave the battlefield. If the enemy is far away, use skill 1 to jump off the wall and close in. Then use the ultimate and enhanced basic attacks to defeat the enemy.
If you want to be my enemy, at least come out and face me.
Once you understand Feyd's hero counters, you'll be able to select your standard battle lineup more easily.
Some nights this is how I wander around Jade City.
Feyd counters heroes like Shilya and Ganon Mo with long-range skill poking abilities. When Feyd is on top of walls, it can distort these heroes' vision, making it hard for them to hit him with their skills.
If anyone deserves to test this blade, it's you.
Feyd is countered by heroes like Daji and Wukong, who have strong burst abilities. Feyd lacks durability. If he's the first to enter a battle, it's easy for the enemy to obliterate him with a skill combo.
Wealth is not my only merit. You need to get to know me.
Feyd is also countered by heroes like Renjie and Miyue, who have Purify skills. Renjie's skill 2 and Miyue's ultimate can remove the marks from Feyd's ultimate, making it harder for him to clean up.